Welcome back, everybody. Today we're continuing our 20 South ride here. We started in Clarksburg and rode to Buckhannon. Today on this video, we're going to be going from Buckhannon to Webster Springs. This ride here is roughly right at 56 miles and about an hour and 20 minutes. It's a pretty windy road, and but it's an enjoyable ride there. So, starting out right here in Buckhannon, coming through town. Now, Buckhannon, as you ride 20 through Buckhannon, it takes several minutes to get through town here. So we'll take a look at this. But Buckhannon is a pretty nice little town. There's a lot to look at and do. Now, I don't know if I actually realized until I rode all of 20 here. Down below Princeton. We'll have the rest of those videos coming up in the coming weeks here. How much stuff was on Route 20? How many state parks and things like that? Sorry. But it was a super enjoyable ride. Now this up here, you go through a lot of little towns, but Buckhannon's a bigger town, so you got to kind of struggle through it, and it's always pretty trafficy. It's not terrible unless you're there at the wrong time or something going on. Man, once again, excuse me. You'll probably get caught at every light because that's what happens. But other than that, you're coming through here on a Saturday morning. It's not horrible. Just make sure you check ahead of time that it's not Strawberry Festival or something. I'll get more into festivals in these little towns and making sure that there's not the weekend that you're riding through there here in a second. It may have happened to me, but yeah, I left a lot of this town on here just because there's a lot to do in Buckhannon. There's pretty much every eatery that you can think of, and gas station. So it's either a good starting point or a good stopping point, depending on where you're coming to or fro. So, but yeah, this ride here was pretty good ride. Like the overall ride. I can't remember if I talked about it in the Clarksburg to Buckhannon video or not, but like it was almost 7-hour ride from Clarksburg to just south of Princeton there where 20 actually ends. It's a few miles off the state line. But the further south you get, the cooler stuff gets. I mean, not saying that stuff through here and things like that. It's just all the sights and the parks and the things that are going on around you. It really kind of blew my mind that all that stuff was there. So, but these are the things we find out when we're out riding. But yeah, most of this road it comes and goes. For the most part, the road wise, as far as your blacktop and stuff, it's 70% or better. You see the breakaways and the patches right here. That's pretty much throughout the whole road. You'll have a 10-mile section where there's nothing. It's really good road, and then it'll go back to that. At no point did I really hit any rough road or something that you would have to like super slow down for or watch for. That being said, I mean you get. I wouldn't ride the white line on a lot of this road, but outside of that, the road's pretty. I don't want to say smooth because we live in West Virginia, but it's a good road. I mean, at no point did I feel like if I hit that patch or that hole, I was going to die. So, that being said, you can look at the road here and see and it, like I said, it's a continuance, like right through here. Is it rough? Yes. Will it throw you, buck you, or whatever? Not really. Um, and most of the patches are on the white line or right on the yellow line. So, you know, they had to throw a patch in there, as I said, there right in the middle. But you don't really have a lot of that. Is kind of what I'm saying. But down through here, now how I always talk about watching yourself if it rained the day before. Well, it rained the day before. Um, there's pretty much the last. I think there's another little gas station, but that one there's right outside. Um, Back to what I was talking about. There's going to be a lot of water set alongside the road, like we just passed right there at that gas station. People drag that out and stuff. That's always something to watch for. You just seen that driveway was full of water. So, you know, if you're riding the day after rain, also, and I'll show you if I can remember to point it out, and I'm not rambling about something else. I actually left a couple places uh, in the video because you get over in the mountainous areas or you got steep hills that come right down to the road ditch. Um, you're going to have washouts. This little town right here, it's just right outside of Buckhannon. It's like as you come off that steep hill there, it's like 45, I think, and there's two outlets right there at the bottom of the hill, and the one has very limited sight line of view coming off that hill. So if you're coming off that hill, I don't know what the name of that town is, but Alton Road's right there at the top. But just slow down going into that, especially like any of these small towns down through here. Now I did pass a lot of bikes further south. This stretch here, I don't think I passed any. And what that tells me is like your locals may not be used to a lot of bikes or doing extra to look for a bike or something. So just be aware of that. If you're not on a normal bike route, like where you would see a lot of bikes, if you're coming in and you don't know the road and you're coming into stuff where limited sight lines and things, just be careful. No one wants to be over top the hood of a car or anything. So, but that being said, but yeah, that little place right there, and it's at the bottom of a pretty steep hill. You got, even on the bike, you gotta kind of brake and stuff to be at 45 coming down through there. But most of this, it's funny how you ride out these roads and stuff, and you won't see nothing for miles and miles and miles. Then all of a sudden, there's like 7, 8 houses stacked right on top of each other, and then you'll go miles and miles and miles. That place there is really cool, and it looks abandoned. I don't know what it is or why it's abandoned, but it was a massive house, and there's like the driveway for it. I was like, huh. Wonder if they're giving that away for free. But anyways, but yeah, it's kind of funny. You get in now these not really even small towns. Right out there's the game farm. Down through here, I tried to get the elk. They're in the top right hand corner of the screen. You can just barely see the little white blots of them. I was hoping they'd be out in the field standing and stuff. There's like 10 elk right there, and but they were all laying down. Didn't get a good view of any of them. And I know people are probably gonna yell at me and stuff because, like the stuff that, like your attraction stuff, I usually don't get off and go look at it. We wanted to go check out a lot of things on this ride, but time kind of got us. This was an overnight ride, and the next day we both had to be somewhere. My wife is actually with me on this ride, and so it kind of constrained us a little bit. Now, stuff that I did stop at one place. It was a place I had never been before, and I thought was super cool. So I got a little bit of shots of it, but yeah, I think in the future and stuff, I want to start trying to uh, get some of the attraction shots and stuff. This is a weird little intersection here. That's four that if you go straight, that takes you. You can go a lot of places. You can actually connect back into 19 off of four. That's a cool little connecting road there and stuff. We'll do one on it. I don't know how soon, but we'll do one on it. I don't remember how long it is, but it's not a overly huge road. But yeah, you just that intersection is kind of weird, and it's signed okay. I mean, if you're flying, you might miss it. See the water laying alongside the road? That's the stuff that worries you. You get into them turns and stuff, especially when it's a hillside turn like that, and they're all full of leaves and dirty. I mean, that stuff can wash out at any point in time. You come around a turn and there's water running across the road. You might not make it through it. I've hit a couple not paying attention and had some wash in it, and it was a good thing there was nothing coming the other lane because I slid clear across, but never went down or anything. But that's just stuff that you gotta, like I'm always saying, kind of be prepared for anything, and that's I kind of got on myself on this ride a couple of times because these you're in turn after turn after turn, and another little gas station. Um, and then when you get to a straightaway after all these turns, you're like, I'm gonna get out of fourth gear and hammer it, and then there's a goose in the road or something. So that's like that situation right there. It was nothing but turns in this long straightaway. You're like, yes. Then I'm always afraid of right there a deer flies out in front of me or something. But this this section here, you don't. It was crazy. It didn't have a lot of at the very beginning, outside of Buckhannon and stuff, you have a lot of your open fields and hillsides and stuff like that. And then the further you get, like the hillsides get way steeper, and you don't really see anything, even through the trees and stuff. Like if you were doing this in the fall or something, um, it you still, I mean, you could see stuff, but it wasn't like views that you would expect. So, but that changes outside of this video. The further south you get is like something like this where it's wide open. There was a big field off to my left and stuff, but I didn't look that way with the camera. So, uh, but yeah, the probably the next video, I forget. We went after Webster Springs. I think Webster Springs to Nettie, and I only did that to kind of break up. I didn't want to I had to cut this here so bad, but there wasn't. That's why I went ahead and done them because it was all pretty much riding like this. I tried to leave in the cool turns. Now there was a lot of, I mean, on a bike, this is a really good road because you know what I mean. You're in and out of turns, uphill, downhill. In a car, I'd probably start crying. But on the bike, it was pretty awesome ride. But I did cut down. Like I said, it took us an hour and 20 minutes to go from Buckhannon to Webster Springs, and it was only 56 miles, so it was a little slower than what you would think. But I was able to cut it. But the next one, like I'd like to have good starting and stopping points that someone could like look up on the map. But there, I wasn't going to do like 70-mile things. Now I think I do have one of those later on a return ride because I was in absolutely nowhere land. And but we'll see when that I get to edit in that video and see where we can stop and start at. But Nettie was a cool little place. I mean, oh yeah, that squirrel. He tried his best to commit suicide, but thank goodness I got stopped. I actually screamed at him. I was yelling. My wife was laughing, and right up here, my wife was like, "That guy heard you yelling." I was like, "Whatever," but he was looking at us, so apparently he did hear me. But you'll have that. But what I was saying earlier, um, sorry, I get off track a lot. Squirrel in a nut. See how steep this hillside is, and the ditch line's full of all the debris and stuff. Your leaves and things. You get a good hard rain, that stuff will wash out. And a lot of these hills, they do have the concrete drop boxes in them for water collection. And I had seen, and I thought, I don't know where it's at in the video. I know I left one in it where it had hit it and it had overflowed it, and there was a pretty good line, probably about 3 foot out in the road of debris. Like there's one that washed out, but there wasn't no debris in it. But right there was another one. But that can be very dangerous on the old sickle here. So just I like throwing out things for people to think about and watch for as they're riding down the road. Mostly just I like throwing out odd safety things that some people may not cross their mind or something like that. But yeah, most of this ride is this view right here, and like I said before, it kind of blew my mind. I was like, what? But we do get to we go past Holly River here and stuff, and that state park. I almost did pull down in there and do the loop, but I don't know. I I look at the sign and it goes through my head. Hey, whip in there, and then I upshift and just keep right on going. I don't understand how my mind works sometimes, and I get 10 miles down the road and I'm like, man, I should have stopped there one of these days. But that's something else. Like you guys could comment, if there's a place on these roads or something, or a road that you're like, man, I know this place here and this place here. I'd like to see what that looks like or whatever. And we could stop and check that out, or say, I haven't seen this route, and it's got this and this on it. When if you do this route, could you swing in here and do like 2 minutes of whatever? And yeah, we can try to appease everyone. Yeah, it's right here. I always loved Holly River because as you're flying off this hill, it's right there. So there is a lot of cool stuff. I used to go there as a kid. I haven't been there in years and years. But anymore, it's so bad. Like all these state parks, it's like you got to make reservations for next year. Like I don't even know what I'm doing next weekend. You know what I mean? So I probably never get to go to a state park ever again. So to camp, I'll just go there and waller around or something. But there's it. Like I said earlier, it really blew my mind how much stuff was actually off of 20. So many cool things. I honestly believe if even if you got a family and you guys just want to go take a weekend, leave early Saturday morning, and drive, I would definitely say that this Route 20, just get it and head south, and you would have a weekend. We passed so many museums, so many different things of all different walks of life and things. You know what I mean? Your wood choppers or whatever that one. Your lumberjack museums, your coal museums, your you know all the stuff that's woven in the fabric of Southern West Virginia, and I thought they were really cool. Some of them I've been in before. Some of these places I've checked out, over the years and things. Absolutely none of them on this video. I did check out one thing. It won't be on this video though, and it's kind of short too. So there was other people there, and I didn't. Kind of weird about walking around with a camera. On the bike, I don't really care. Um, it's for safety. But there's several. As you get in Webster Springs, you're going to run into the logging industry. This road was actually pretty clean for having a road or the rain and stuff. But that being said, anytime you see a log yard, and I'm not attacking loggers by any means necessary. Pretty much anytime you're going past a log yard, they're going to drag out mud. Uh, just be mindful of that. Yeah. Oh no, I thought I was pointing at something. Yeah, this dude had every freaking power wagon from the 40s up sitting down there. Almost stopped and looked at that, but my wife wouldn't let me have enough junk. But yeah, as you can see, this I hate to make this road out as it's boring, because it absolutely was not. There was so much to eyeball. As you're riding, there wasn't a lot as far as putting it out there on the camera, but as eyeball and the check out, it was absolutely excellent. But that being said, back to if you wanted to take your family in a car or on a bike, I'm not saying I don't care what you do. I'm just saying, like, you can do this. What we did on this run, because I do not, absolutely do not backtrack. I'll go 4 hours out of my way not to backtrack, and especially if I'm on a bike. But we had rode 20 all the way to Princeton, then rode through Princeton, and I don't think it was 10 miles. A little bit southwest of Princeton, where 20 actually ends. The big sign says N20, and you're only a few miles from the Virginia state line at that point in time. Why they ended there or whatever, I don't know. I don't do research like that. But we ended up staying in Princeton, and I've actually spent some time in Princeton. I like that area down there. It's not too bad, and but there is so many routes that come out of there to come back north. I wanted to do 10 all the way over to Huntington, but that's like a 4-hour 2-lane road across the state. We didn't have the time, like I said, the time constraints. But I ended up hitting 19 while it's still 2-lane all the way up to Beckley, and rode it all the way to where it turns into 4-lane there right before the toll roads. And then I went over and we actually finished all of 16, because I had done upper 16 a month or so ago. You can check out that video. But we did 16 all the way from Beckley all the way up to I-79 there at the Big Otter exit. I think it's 42, something like that on 79. But we had did the northern half of that a couple months ago or a month ago. I don't know. But yeah, them videos will be coming out, and that was pretty cool. There was a lot of I'd never been on some of those parts of 16. 19 was absolutely awesome into Beckley. I don't care if you're in a car now. It's a twisty turny road. It's actually meant for bikes, but there's a lot to see on that. There's a lot of natural beauty on that road. But that video will be coming out pretty soon. But yeah, this, like I said, I apologize for like kind of downplaying this road here, but it's really cool to ride. There is a lot of stuff to see, but there's so much of this, where it opens up is really nice, and there are several places to stop and a couple little attractions, nothing horrible. But when you get into Webster Springs is absolutely awesome. Awesome little town. They were actually having the wood chopping festival or whatever, and that's 15, cuts off right there. I was staring at the sun, almost hit the guardrail because I'm dumb. But they were having their wood choppers festival, and that's what I was talking about earlier about you know, checking out these little towns. It wasn't overwhelming, like the traffic and stuff, but that little town was packed. My camera actually literally died like 5 minutes before we got into town, which pretty much is just this, and then you run into town. And I didn't notice it until we stopped, and right in the middle of town. And then I caught a little bit of the town on the backside of it, but I missed the very front of the town and stuff. But Webster Springs is a cool little town to go visit and check out their stuff. They got a lot of cool little monuments and things like that. I mean, it's not a, hour you can completely check out everything and be back loaded up and on your way south. But I definitely wouldn't do it when the wood chopping festival is going on because you can't even find a place to park. So, but that being said, yeah, that's where we'll end this video here. But I actually had a little bit of footage of when we were taking off and put it, when we started back out of Webster Springs, and put it on the end of this video just so you guys actually get to see the town. It wouldn't end like me driving down this 2-lane here. But I can't believe that never done that to me before. I don't know. We had all the batteries and stuff, and the first time I've ever had my wife on the back watching the camera, making sure, because it's a pain in the butt making sure that camera's always on. And I was like, you let me down. Only you had one job, but it is what it is. It actually happened to us one other time too. I don't know what happened. I've got a couple GoPros, and I think I got them mixed up because one of them's not real good and the other one's pretty good. I think I got them mixed up, and so I'm gonna have to sit down. There's a couple ways to tell, so I guess that's on my job, not your guys' problem. But I just hate it. I hate missing stuff like it. You only see cool stuff when you don't have a camera. You know what I mean? The old saying. But that's about what happened to me. But no, this is a cool road. Don't let me don't let this video fool you, because I swear to you, it seems on camera here. I watched it when I edited it, and I was like, dude, where was this at? Where was that at? Because I remember seeing it, but I didn't remember seeing it on the camera. Maybe it just didn't look right. I mean, the camera looks where I look. I don't know how I missed it, but it is a nice curvy road. It's a good riding road. Like I said, it's not overly rough. You can see how good the road is. The white line does have some break-offs, and the ditch lines are kind of dangerous, but outside of that, I wouldn't concern myself too much with it. But that being said, you guys like what you see here, please like and share the videos and stuff, and continue to here we're in town. That's when we're taking off. We missed a little bit of it, but just let me know what you like to see and stuff like that, and comment, let us know. Like I just said, you can see how busy this town was. It was ridiculous. But we're going to continue to put out these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy them and stuff. And just be safe out there. Just remember to get out and ride them bikes. You guys be safe.